Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. So on this episode, I'm actually going to be talking about a Japanese manga. If it's a manga, obviously it's Japanese. Seriously, JD, what is wrong with you? So we're going to be talking about a Japanese manga that I actually have had for years now. How long? I'm not even sure. But it came out, it was actually released in 2006, so it's pretty old. And I tried finding it. You can't find it anywhere unless you're going to get a used version, it looks like. I tried looking to see if there's any brand new versions or where you can read it. It looks like the only option is to get a used version. What is it called? Well, it is a Japanese manga called Melted Love, and it's by Yu Takumi. It's a collection of 8 BL stories that I actually find very enjoyable. Like I said, it was released in 2006. So originally it's from June Manga. I'm sure a lot of you, if you are manga readers like me, you know what June Manga is. I could not find it on the website. Maybe someone else will have better luck than me, but when I checked the website, I couldn't find it anywhere. I did find it being sold used on Amazon. I'll see if I can find it again and post the link in the description if you're interested in it. Now, keep in mind, it is rated M for mature, and it is mature. I was reading it and clutching my pearls going, wow, I have definitely become more conservative as I got older. Look at this. But each story actually follows a different relationship where the question is this love or lust? And that's basically the premise of the whole thing. I'm trying to figure out, is this true love or is this just lust? Now, only 2 of the stories, I believe, cross into each other. But that is it. And only 2 stories, I believe, have 2 chapters. Everything else is just a one-shot. One of the stories that has a second chapter is just kind of like a really small conclusion to the full story. It's not even that. It's not. It's like 2 extra pages to the story. That's it. That's really it. Now, so I'm kind of going to go through and kind of break down some of the stories. So we have Melted Love and Melty People. These 2 stories follows a famous model named Juzo, I believe. I can't read my own handwriting. And it's basically as he questions if his relationship with a man who is not his usual type is true love. This guy is older. He doesn't fawn over him like usually the guys he kind of ends up with do. And he gives him his space, lets him, be himself, and doesn't seem to get jealous when he talks about other guys wanting him, which is something he's always wanted. But it's now making him question, is this actually love or is this lust? What is this? Lovely Stubbornness is about 2 childhood friends who start to date because one of them says, hey, want to date? And the other one says yes. But it's really more, is this still a friendship? Because they don't seem to have really moved on from just being friends. So it's them trying to figure out, is this just a friendship because we're acting the same way we did before? Or is this a relationship and were we always just acting like a couple? So that's Lovely Stubbornness. I'm going to skip the next one. Not really. Okay, so the next one is called The Dentist. I don't want to talk about it. It was a horrible story. I did not like it whatsoever. The dentist is a horrible person. It's basically about how he likes to torture his patients. That was the worst story in the book. Then there is False Rumor. False Rumor is also about childhood friends who are facing an arranged marriage, where one of them looks like he's going to be entering an arranged marriage, and they need to, well, one is very open with his feelings, the other one is not, and they need to figure out, what is this? What are we doing? Are we going to get together? Are we just friends? And then they're the ones who actually have the second chapter that's just a couple pages, and it's called Unparalleled Service. And basically it's oh wait, no, I'm mixing up. I'm mixing up. It is not. It does have a second part though, I believe. I'm gonna check the book. That's not the second part of that one. Yes, sorry. So Falls Rumor Started or Not is the first one, and then the second one is Falls Rumor Started, where they basically are establishing what their relationship is ish. It's still unclear, but that's the whole point. The whole point is to be unclear. The next story is Unparalleled Service. This one is actually one of my favorite ones in a sense, and it's basically, just be careful what you ask concierge for. There's a customer who always flirts with a concierge, and he gets what's coming to him. And it's one of my favorite ones. It really is one of my favorite ones. Because I just love how he thinks he's taking advantage of everything. And then the other story is Tattoo. So basically YU questions if he is just a canvas to be displayed, or are these feelings real? YU and his tattoo artist, well, YU has feelings for his tattoo artist, and he's trying to figure out if his tattoo artist has the same feelings for him. The last story is Melty People, but I just put that in with Melted Love because like I said, there's two stories that have like two chapters after, and that's Melted Love and Melty People. Now, if I had to say which one of these stories were my favorite, I think I already said it, Unparalleled Service. Other than Unparalleled Service, probably Melted Love, and well, Melted Love, just the first part, because of the model Juzo, was that his name? Him having to really figure out how he feels. Like, he has to be the one to figure out how he feels with everything, and I like that. I really liked it. I found the entire book very enjoyable, and for me it was worth the read, except for the dentist. The dentist is horrible. If I ever decide to read this again, I can tell you I'm skipping the dentist. And for me, with all manga, it takes me less than a day to read them. Like, I went through this pretty quick, but that's because I kind of read fast as well. How much would I rate this book? I honestly would rate this 7.5, and that's mainly because of the stories that I really liked. As far as mangas go, I liked the art style. It was a very clean art style. I'm trying to figure out like something to compare it to that's very cluttered, because that's the best way I can do it. I'm not good at talking about what art styles are and what kind of penciling style did they use and how was their shading. Like, I can't really talk about that, but I know what I like, and I like that the art style in this is very clean. It doesn't feel cluttered, even when there's so much on a page. Like, there could be, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels on one page, and it still doesn't feel cluttered. I can still separate everything and figure out where everything is. So even though there's like unnecessary paneling as well, like their heads are basically cut off, but in the other panel that's the bodies. So why wasn't it just one anyway? But yeah, like the art style to me, it wasn't cluttered. The stories were, I mean, it did what it's supposed to do. You know, question, is it real? Is this true love, or is this just lust? I'm trying to think. To me, melted love was love. And it was love because he was with someone who was not his type usually, and he was realizing, read it yourself. Read it yourself. I loved it. I loved all the stories. If you can find it, that's good. If you can't, like I said, I'm gonna check to see if I can find it on Amazon and post links to it in the description. So definitely check it out. What other mangas should I review? Because I do have like a shelf of BL manga, but I haven't read most of them for years. I would have to go back and go through. I mostly just read everything online now. So if there's anything you'd like me to review and you know where I can find it, tell me. I'd love to check it out. And I can sit and can do a review of that too. And if you know anything on TappyToon you want me to review, let me know about that too, because I'm always going through TappyToon. And Webtoons. I actually have another one on Webtoons that I really want to review. So yeah. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is shorter than usual because it's just a simple episode and I'm trying not to stay too long. Real quick, before I actually end this podcast, I just want to talk to you guys real quick about supporting this podcast if you can. Now, you can actually support this podcast for as low as 99 cents per month. All you got to do is head over to the link in the description. It takes you to anchor.fm /time4BL. You click on that support tab and you can start becoming a supporter of this podcast. And I actually do get a list of my supporters as well, so I can give you a shout out. And I also want to eventually think of special things I can do just for supporters of the podcast. So if you want to be a part of that, just head over to anchor.fm /time4BL, click on the support tab, or just look in the description box and click on that support tab. And like I said, you can start supporting this podcast for as low as 99 cents per month. Bye. All right. I hope you guys can have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Love you. Bye.